Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett and thank you for spending some time with me today because in this video, we are talking all about some high-end finishes, luxury materials that fail fast and I don't recommend to you and I usually don't recommend to my clients either. Now, the first thing we have to talk about is something I've mentioned 100 times before, and that is unlacquered brass. Unlacquered brass is gorgeous, but it ages. It gets a patina on it. And not everybody is prepared to either take care of it. Sometimes they don't like the way it looks as it ages. And sometimes you renovate in stages, so not everything matches all of the time. And a lot of people are just not into it. They're just over it. They don't want the maintenance of it, okay? They just don't like it because it can also stain whatever it is affixed to. And that's a topic of conversation for another video. But those are some of the reasons they don't like it. So what I've moved on to doing is recommending finishes on brass that are sealed. And so maybe it's aged and then it's sealed, or it may not even be brass, but it's brass toned on the finish that looks very real. And this takes some selecting and shifting through to find things, but it is always going to stay looking how it looks, even though it's not unlacquered brass. If you don't like that polished brass look and you want it to look aged in your home, or maybe it's not keeping up with everything and it's aging evenly, you can actually shop a brass ager from Amazon in my Amazon storefront, linked in the description box down below, that you spray on, wipe off. It ages the brass quickly, like literally in 5 minutes, and then you get that finish you're looking for. So shop that down below. And for those of you that are not the aged brass fans, but have the unlacquered brass, I'll also link some brass polish for you because I love that for you. Even if you're stuck with it, it's no longer what I'm recommending, just because I want my clients to have the lowest maintenance basis possible, and unlacquered brass is not that thing. Now, I'm not telling you if you have unlacquered brass in your home to get rid of it. It's gorgeous, and I do love it. I'm informing everyone that doesn't the true maintenance of it, and if you do have it and you like it and you love polishing brass, I love that for you. Now, we have to talk about something else that is a very popular trend that has some pros and cons, and I like and I dislike some of it, and that is marble sinks. Now, just because it looks good and I love it in a powder bathroom doesn't mean this is for every area of your home, and one of the biggest trends are marble sinks in kitchens and bathrooms. And the reality is, it's stunning, okay? Gorgeous, love that. I don't want to live with it though, because a sink is meant to be used, right? That's one of the most used areas in your home. It's supposed to be one of the most durable. Marble is not any of those things. It is not durable. It is not going to last forever as a sink. And I don't want to deal with the aftermath of that. Also, like, just imagine it's slabs of stone put into the sink. Okay, it's formed together. Imagine if it's not sealed right. And now you're using it as a sink and it's leaking all over the place. Absolutely not. Keep it as far away from me as possible. But think about it. In your bathroom, you're brushing your teeth, maybe you're shaving your face, you're washing your hands on a regular basis. At least hopefully you are. That is all chemicals and materials that are getting in the sink. Unless you're wiping it down after every use, which maybe you are, and that's great, it's going to get a lot of wear on it. Even with a kitchen sink, okay? Like if you're just putting a pot down in the sink, you cannot set hot pots on marble. Okay, you can't do that. It will crack, it will break. So you can't do that. And now you're gonna have to scrub it, but what are you scrubbing it with? Because I know it's not some strong soap. You're not bleaching it because that's gonna ruin it. Like, how are you cleaning it? What is the maintenance of that like? I don't like that. I don't like that for me. I like my stuff to be clean and tidy. And back in ye olden times, okay, they were washing things with water and prayers, not dish soap. So I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't like it. I want to be able to actually take care of my stuff and clean it and make it look good. So this is a very high maintenance item that I'm just not going to recommend. Also, let me tell you this. If I have the budget to do something great in the kitchen, I'm not doing a marble sink, okay? Like that's gonna be the last thing on the list. If I have every other thing ticked off the box, maybe, but I want panel-ready appliances. I want an oversized vent hood. Honey, give me some sconces, give me some elevated tile. Let's do a slab backsplash. That's where I'm going to put the money when we're renovating a kitchen into, not a sink. I mean, yeah, it's great, it's gorgeous. Get a nice faucet, but going for a super, super high-end sink, Absolutely not. It's a pass from me. I don't like the maintenance for me or for you. And if you like some sensible design in your home and your space and you have some of these questions, not just about a kitchen renovation or a bathroom or something major, but even if it's the smallest thing, where to hang artwork, what color to paint your walls, I've got you covered. You can always book a one-on-one virtual consultation with me using the link in the description box down below or by typing into your browser intro.co/GarrettLeChic, and I will see you over there. Now, another high-end or luxury material that I do not typically recommend are butcher block countertops. Now, I know what you're thinking. I wouldn't consider that to be high-end or luxury, but the reality is luxury comes in phases, and by comparison, butcher block countertops are very luxurious. If you compare them to a tile countertop or a laminate, some people will consider them to be very high-end, right? Or much better or whatever. I don't recommend them just because of the maintenance, right? Like they have to be oiled, they have to be finished. I don't know that I like a finish on wood and then putting my food on that. Like something is just not sitting correctly with me about that. But you do with that information what you will. Also with a countertop, you're going to have a sink in it. This sink is inevitably going to get the countertop wet. What's the water gonna do to the wood? I don't like that. And I see this all the time in bathrooms as well, because it's like very DIY-able to have a wood top on cabinetry. It looks pretty good. I will give it that, okay? I don't have an issue with that aesthetic, but I think there are better choices. Honestly, you want my genuine opinion on this, which I always give you, so I don't know why I said that, but that's beside the point. I would sooner recommend laminate over tile countertops or wood. If you're looking for a temporary solution, laminate is durable. It lasts. It's been around for forever. Frank Lloyd Wright used laminate countertops. They're not a bad material, right? We've just made it out to be like they're something cheap or they're bad or whatever because we like solid stone. But if you don't have the budget for that, go for something that's more affordable that looks just as good, because there are so many finishes in the laminate section of materials that you could get for your home as far as countertops go that mimic natural stone. If you want marble but you can't afford it, or you don't want the maintenance of it, or like it's just out of the budget, get laminate that looks like marble. And it's not a replacement, right? It's not a comparison, it's not the same thing, but it's still better than something like a butcher block. So butcher block is just very high maintenance, or even just a wood countertop in general. It's very high maintenance. It has a tendency to warp and flex. And so you just have issues with it that I don't care for. It's not a bad material. Like a butcher block island is great if you're cutting on it, if you're using it. And the good thing about that is, you know, like a butcher block, it's wood. You can sand wood. It could be refinished. I mean, I wouldn't recommend you do it yourself. I'd hire out for it. That's just me personally. It could be sanded, it can be refinished and look brand new. So there's a pro to that, but there's also a lot of cons. Go for something that makes more sense, especially if it's a temporary solution. What's the easiest thing you could do and what's gonna get you the look you want now, and then maybe you can move on from it in the future. Honestly, it makes so much more sense to me than putting money into something that you know is not going to last forever and is going to be high maintenance. Why bother? Another high maintenance material I don't typically recommend, and I don't recommend for you, is actually black porcelain for bathrooms. And I mean sinks, toilets, bathtubs. This is gorgeous. Okay, it looks good. If you want like modern, if you want luxury, even kind of like an art deco moment in a bathroom, black porcelain, you know, like sink, toilet, bathtub things, situation, just gorgeous, beautiful. What happens with the hard water though? It's gonna get in there, you're gonna get the hard water spots, and you can scrub them out, because it certainly isn't gonna be me. I'm not putting it into my house. I'm not dealing with it, so I don't recommend that for most people. Like, a powder bathroom is a little different though. You can get away with more in there because there's not as heavily used. So if you want a black sink in there, all right, I'm not gonna balk at it. Even if you want a black sink in a bathroom, if you're gonna wipe it down after every use, you probably won't have a big issue. But if you are going for a toilet, I don't know about you, but I'm not getting a rag and wiping the inside of the toilet after every use. That's weird. So let's not go down that route. Same thing goes for a bathtub. I don't wanna have luxuriated and gotten out of the bathtub and I'm wrapped in my towel and then I'm like, oh, let me whip it off and wipe down the bathtub. That's not my fantasy, so I'm not gonna do that. I don't like these because of the maintenance, because of the hard water stains and buildup you get on them. Stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. Best left to photographs, in my opinion. I would sooner recommend black paint, black tiles on walls and floors if you want that luxury, like black and white aesthetic. Spare the black, porcelain pieces and go for something that's more durable or less maintenance for that matter. You see, I'm always looking out for you, which is why if you haven't already, you should take a moment and join us, become a part of our GarrettLeChic family by hitting the subscribe button, or better yet, I know that most of you are at home watching me on your television, which I look good in big screens, so I will give you that. But go ahead, pull out your phone and use your camera to scan this QR code, follow the link to my YouTube channel page, and hit subscribe and join us. So much easier, and I would greatly appreciate to have you as a part of our GarrettLeChic family if you're not already. And if you are already, be sure you give this video a like and give it a little bit of hype too to get it shared across the platform. Another high maintenance item in a home that you could have that is luxurious, but I don't typically recommend, are silk rugs. I love a silk rug. There's nothing that feels better underfoot than a silk rug. Like, it is so luxury and beautiful and gorgeous, but you're not getting a stain out of a silk rug. You're not cleaning a silk rug. And the same thing goes for viscose as well, which also feels just as good. Viscose sometimes gets like advertised as bamboo silk, but it's like a kind of a take on a natural fiber, like a manufactured natural fiber, if you will, beside the point. But you can't clean it. You can't get them like stains out of them if the dog makes a little mess, or if it's in a high traffic area and you get a dark spot across it. Forget it. Give up on it. You're not cleaning it. You're not getting that out of it. Usually what happens when you have these professionally cleaned, they shave them down just a little bit in that spot to get that off of there, and you don't really notice. But also what people don't tell you about silk rugs is that, and I don't care what anyone says, silk does not hold onto color that well. They will get bleached. It is easy to mess them up. Like, that's the reason you can't just throw silk into the washing machine. It will get ruined. So you really cannot put them in a bright sunny area that gets light that comes across the floor. They'll get destroyed. I don't typically recommend silk rugs. They're very expensive, but unless you're really looking after them, they just don't last. And so maybe that luxury thing is not for everyone and not for every space. I would sooner recommend wool, whether that is tufted, there's issues there, but more affordable, or hand knotted, that's my favorite. Those are also very expensive, so maybe you go vintage, or you could get an alternative like something made of cotton or another natural fiber if you're in a really high maintenance area, right? Kids, dogs, animals, people walking across it and it gets ruined. If it's a natural material, I don't feel bad about throwing it out and getting a new one, right? Like, it's gonna degrade at a landfill, it will feed the planet, it will be nutrients or whatever, and I feel good about that. So, I wouldn't say I feel good about that because I threw out something I bought and then I have to rebuy it, but that's also beside the point. But I have less guilt about getting rid of something that's a natural material versus something that's a synthetic. So be mindful of what you're doing on your floors. It's a very high maintenance area and it could get ruined very easily and very quickly. So I don't recommend things like silk because they're just too high maintenance for most people. Arden, don't be so cavalier with me about what you did to the silk rugs. He ruined one of our silk rugs when he was a little puppy. He wasn't maybe like 100% perfectly house trained, or maybe it was just like we're in a different house, like we're still learning things. So yes, he did ruin a silk rug that I had to throw out. Still not happy about it, but I don't hold it against you. You're too pretty. You're too pretty. Can't hold it against you. Cornelius, on the other hand, would never. He would never. He would never. He loved that rug and you ruined it for everyone. But I still love you, even if you won't give me kisses. Okay, that's fine. Boop. Speaking of Cornelius, everybody asked to see Cornelius, and Cornelius does not care to be on camera right now because this time of day, there's like gorgeous light that comes in and he loves to lay in it and be warm and toasty in the sun. So he's got his priorities together and straight, and it doesn't have anything to do with ruining a silk rug, but that's beside the point. You see, he ditched us and he's going back to his spot. Love that for him, or he's gonna live his best life. But something that is not for you and not for your life, and certainly not your best life, is this next material that is too high maintenance for most people, and that is actually going to be black finishes on flat surfaces like furniture and also soapstone. People love soapstone, and like black furniture is just so in right now, but the problem with it is that every speck of dust in your house is going to find its way to that one piece of furniture, and you will see all of it. As for soapstone, and the reason I lump these together is because soapstone is a dark countertop material. It's beautiful, people love it, it's very high-end, super luxurious, no air quotes that time, okay? It is beautiful, right? It's at the level of marble, but alongside it being at the level of marble, also its delicacy level is at the level of marble. But because it is dark, you have greater issues. With marble, if you get it wet and you get a water spot on it, it just kind of looks like a haze or like a little cloud, a slight discoloration, not a big deal. With soapstone, if you get it wet or you get oil or you get a grease spot, you get soap on it, it gets darker, it turns black. Soapstone is gray, so you're going to see a black spot on the gray countertop a lot more than you will a slightly darker white shade on white. Better alternatives out there that look just as good. I have many clients who have done this and they've opted for either a black honed granite. That's one of my favorites. Like granite is nearly indestructible, right? Like it is one of the best, strongest countertop materials you could use. If you want soapstone, get honed black granite. Looks the same. Yeah, you seal them to take care of them, okay, but like it is just so much more durable than something like soapstone is. That's why I don't typically recommend that. Really high maintenance materials, they look good, they sound good, they're expensive too, right? Like that's how they get that luxury, you know, association, but that doesn't mean it actually leads to a luxury lifestyle. A luxurious lifestyle to me is simplicity. It means I'm free to live my life without having the maintenance of taking care of all of this high maintenance stuff. Like if I want to cook dinner, I don't want to have to be like prancing and delicate around in my kitchen like, oh, I hope I don't get a stain on the countertops. No, it's not for me. Pass, pass, pass. I don't like that. Well, there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure you check out this one right over here. No, I don't mean you, Arden. I mean the video here that is all about some design trends that are about to explode. They're gonna blow up and everyone should know about them. So be sure you check it out. And I'm not sure if he was there or not. We'll see you over there.